Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here, and welcome to a Vertcoin update. Last video I made was on the Vertcoin one-click miner, and I told you guys how to use that, how to download it, etc. But today, we're just going to have an update. I'm just going to, a sort of a follow-up video on that. So when I made the Vertcoin video, it was about, the price of Vertcoin was about $6.50. Now it's risen all the way to $9.45. At one point it got to $9.90. So all of you who downloaded the Vertcoin miner and may have gotten some Vertcoin, I'm sure you were all very happy with that. I also wanted to show you the Vertcoin mining calculator. So if you just Google Vertcoin price, you'll get this page. And if you Google Vertcoin mining calculator, you'll get this. So it's kind of hard to know how much you actually can hash without actually trying it first. But for example, my computer hashes about 50 megahash, and with my two GTX 980s, and this is showing about $4.18 a day, about 0.4 coin per day. And I think I'm starting to get actually a little bit more than that. And one thing I wanted to tell you guys about the Vertcoin miner is that it is a PPLNS payment system. So I had a lot of people comment on my video, and so that gave me a lot of feedback of what people are experiencing with the Vertcoin one-click miner. And some of the problems was the fact that, hey, I started mining and I haven't received anything for hours. Well, it is a PPLNS system, so it takes about 24 hours for you to realize the full potential of your income. So, for example, when I first started mining Vertcoin on the 28th, I was only receiving 0.0051 coin at a time. And so every few hours when a block would be found, it'd be just about the same. But now I didn't put a lot of effort into mining the first couple days, but I did let it run for 24 hours. And so I want to show you that. And so on the 4th here, you can see that I started running at about 0.006 coin every time a block was found. And now it had reached 1.8 there, 0.18 and 0.3. And now it's starting to get 0.4 and 0.5 per block found. And you might be wondering, when is a block found? Well, nobody really knows. It just takes an hour. Sometimes you find a couple in an hour. Sometimes you find one every 3 hours. As you can see, I was paid just about every hour if you look at these times. Some of them were pretty close. As you can see, this one was only about 20 minutes or so difference. So that's one thing I want to let you guys know, is that it is a PPLNS system. So the longer you mine, the more you're going to get. So if you, the difference is there's another form of payment system called PPS, and it's pay per share. So what PPLNS does, it sort of deters pool hoppers. So if you just mine for a few hours and then you want to go to another pool and then you want to go to another pool every time you find a block, that's pool hopping. And PPLNS deters that. And so it makes you essentially have to stay on the node that you're mining on for 24 hours until you find that you're getting the proper amount that you need, or that you should be getting here. So as you can see, it does go up over time. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that some people were saying that their miner wouldn't kick on. And I just want to say that sometimes it does take a little while. For example, I have a laptop that also mines as well, but it is a gaming laptop. It's not usually recommended to mine on a laptop, but my laptop is a gaming laptop that has very good airflow, so it's not a problem for that laptop. But it takes a while for it to kick in. Sometimes it takes a minute or two for the hash rate to actually kick on. And so you'll notice that it's AMD, NVIDIA, or CPU. And I heard some people saying that they were trying to mine with their CPU. Mining with your CPU is extremely slow, and for the most part, not even worth it. Even if you have the best CPU that money can buy, it's still not going to bring you in much. So what you really want is an NVIDIA graphics card or GPU. Now, you can use AMD, and AMD is pretty much on par with NVIDIA in just about every way, except for the fact that this miner is primarily for NVIDIA GPUs. It hasn't really been optimized for AMD, so if you have an AMD, it's probably best to shy away from Vertcoin one-click miner at the moment. There are other ways to mine Vertcoin, and there are other ways to mine in general, like using NiceHash, and you would get a pretty fair rate for an AMD card on NiceHash. So if you have an NVIDIA GPU, and then you just click Start, it should be just fine. And if it doesn't run for you, I would try to update your graphics drivers. So some people don't really upgrade those very often, or rather update them. So make sure that those are up to date. You can do that by just click NVIDIA Experience. If you have an NVIDIA card, you should have GeForce Experience, and if you click on that program, it will update your graphics drivers for you. Now, if you don't know what graphics card you have, one thing you can do is just hold in the Windows key and then press R, and you'll actually get this run program, excuse me. So hold in the Windows key on your keyboard and then hit R, and type in exactly what I have here, but type in DXDiag, and that's DirectX Diagnostic, and you click OK. And this should work for most people, and then just hit Display here. And you'll see that you have whatever your card you have. Now I have two GTX 980s, and it only says that I have one in here. It doesn't really necessarily say that I have two or more, but you can see what card you have there. It says GTX 980. And then you'll know what you have and what you should be running. So when you set up Electrum Wallet, again, just understand that you need to run this program for quite a while before you actually will start to receive your maximum amount. So now that I'm starting to receive 0.05 every block that is found, I should actually receive over half a Vertcoin a day, maybe even 0.6 Vertcoin a day, which is not too bad, especially considering the price has shot way up in a very short period of time. So I think at a year, Vertcoin could easily be worth close to $100. I'm going to guess anywhere between $50 and $100 in a year. And so if you start mining now, you would be able to accumulate quite a bit of coins, and then in a year's time, just around the same time next year, try and sell them, and you should make a pretty huge profit, because if you think about it, this is the 7-day chart. So just 7 days ago, Vertcoin was at $5, and now it's nearly at $10. So it's nearly at that 100% increase, which is just huge. Now $9 doesn't seem like a lot, but if you have 100 of these coins and then the price doubles, you have quite a bit of money indeed. So in my next video that I'm going to make, I want to talk about buying a video card so that you guys can use this miner. One thing that I do want to say, and I'll say in the next video as well, is that buying a GPU to mine with is generally not that profitable. So let me just show you how that would work. We could probably actually do it in the next video, but we'll just go through it real quick here. So, for example, a GTX 1080 Ti is about an $800, give or take a few bucks, I suppose, GPU. It's one of the best GPUs you can buy, other than the AMD, I think, Vega 64. So they're both pretty much on par with each other, but if you want to just straight up buy the best graphics card, it's going to be the GTX 1080 Ti. It's about $800, and it will give you 60 mega hash per card. And there's nothing stopping you from essentially just getting additional cards. You can actually stack multiple cards inside of your computer if your motherboard can handle it. That's an entirely different story in itself. But if you just want to buy one card, the GTX 1080 Ti is the best you can buy for the most part. And that's going to get you $5.02 a day. So then you just essentially take, let's just do that here. You're essentially just going to divide $5.02 a day. So if you bought a card, it would take about 159 days to actually make profit with that card. So it will be a while. With the price of Vertcoin going up, it might take a little less time as well. And one thing that you also have to consider is that you might think, well, $800, that's a lot, and I'm not getting a lot back. It's going to take 159 days for me to even pay that card back. But if you want to mine in the long run, and you buy a 1080 Ti, and you mine Vertcoin for an entire year, and so annually, with one GTX, you would, in about a year, you'd get 185 coins, and let's say the price doubles, triples. It could even maybe even go up 10 times that much in that period. And you would make a lot of profit like that, because if it's $9 now, and then in a year it's $50 or $90 or $100, all that mining that you've done the entire time, the entire year, was worth way more money than you would have thought it was. And so with one GTX 1080 Ti annually, you'd make about $1,830. Now, this is not counting your electricity costs, because of course you want to factor that in a little bit, but if electricity is not much of a concern to you, don't really worry about it. So $1,830. So you're going to make $1,000 more than you paid for the card in a year's time. So it's a pretty good investment strategy in that sense. So I hope this video was a little bit helpful to you guys. I just wanted to make an update, because I know a lot of people wanted to see how much coin I was actually making with Vertcoin, or how much they can make. And so this will give you a pretty good idea. And then you'll also be able to try this program out for yourself, and then see what your hash rate is with your computer, and then extrapolate from there. So just know that if you bought your computer from just the regular store, like if you just went to Walmart and you just have a home PC, likely it does not have an NVIDIA graphics card or an AMD graphics card. Likely it has an Intel graphics card, and those are just essentially built onto the motherboard, just so that your monitor can plug into it, and so that it can provide the graphics of the internet and things like that. It's not good for running games. It's not good for mining. And as you can see, this mining software does not even take into consideration Intel integrated GPUs, because they're very, very weak, and they only provide enough power essentially to just run your computer daily. So you will have to go out and buy a new graphics card, and that's what I'm going to talk about in my next video. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably come out in a little bit. And I also want to remind you guys that as I did in the beginning of the video, my last video on my channel was how to download this miner and how to download this Vertcoin Electrum wallet to your computer, and so that you can start mining Vertcoin and start accumulating some coin. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please put them down in the comments below. I always check my comments. I'm always checking on you guys. If you guys have questions, I try to answer them. Can't answer them all, but I try to do best I can. But until then, I will see you guys next time.